Hello everybody, I come to you from the exciting settings of a Morrison's car park in Nottingham, and I just wanted to do a short video today. The bike's been into Judd Racing this morning, and I saw a post from some of you might know Nathan Millward, who's Dorothy's Speed Shop down in Devon, and he's bought an Enduro R for his fleet, and he's just bought an Adventure R as well. And his dealers told him that there was a new map out, a new engine map, which helped with the stalling issue, and I'll talk a bit about that. And so I thought, I'll pop to my dealer, the excellent Judd Racing in Nottingham, and have a chat with them, see if they can put it on. Also, I had one of the wheel spacers was slightly crooked in the wheel, and I couldn't get the front wheel off the ground because my paddock stand won't fit it, so I asked them to have a quick look at that, and it was just a dust seal that was slightly off centre, so they've sorted that out for me, so thank you to them. That's great news. So okay, so we're going to go for a quick ride and just give you a sort of idea of what I think of the new map. I've driven it home from Judd, which was about 3 miles. I don't live far from there, I've got an idea, but this will just give you an idea of what it's like. Okay, so there we go. Starts up nice and easily, no issues. Feels a little bit more urgent on the throttle in terms of the revs. So if you look at that, I'm just going to be quite gentle with the clutch, just bring it around quite low speed, let it almost idle around on the clutch. I think that might have been a bit more of a struggle before the map, but there is an absolute instant difference to what I'm feeling, and if I shut off here and just let it coast around and just dip the clutch a little maybe, and then just tiny bit of throttle, and actually I'm really impressed with that. It's quite a lot better than it was. I didn't think it was unrideable, as some people did, mainly vloggers. I thought it was just an idiosyncrasy of the bike where you needed to be a little bit more positive on the throttle. I'd had 1 or 2 stalls, but nothing that sort of worried me unduly, but if there was a fix there from KTM, I was quite happy to have a go. So yeah, I'm so far so good. What we'll do is we'll take it for a couple of local lanes and see how we get on. We've got a few lanes in the Vale of Belvoir, so we'll go to Stadden. There's some ones I kind of know reasonably well there that we can do, just to get, again, an idea of how I feel the bike has changed with them. The other problem I had that I mentioned was I can't get the front wheel off the ground because my paddock stand that sits under the forks, because there's just one caliper and it's got bits sticking out of it, I couldn't adapt my front stand to fit, even trying to look for additional fittings for it. So I've bitten the bullet and bought the KTM stand, which is a headstock stand, but what that'll do is that'll allow me to get both wheels off, which I like, because I can then take the wheels off, take them to my local motorcycle place to get them to do tyre changes for me, a little bit cheaper, and it also helps with maintenance, just being able to get the wheels off and fiddle around and look at the seals and everything, and just check everything's okay. So whilst it was quite expensive, it wasn't a cheap thing, and you have to buy the headstock stand and the pin that fits the bike under the headstock as well, and it also means you have to take the mudguard off, but it's only 2 bolts, so I'm happy I've finally made the decision to do that. So the bike feels good. It feels quite urgent actually, definitely feels angrier, as much as a 400cc single cab. Okay, so I'll cut a bit of this video to when I get to either some interesting road or lanes, because this isn't very exciting. Okay, we just pulled up to traffic lights. I thought it was an ideal opportunity just to do what some vloggers love to do, and just see if we can get it to stall. I'm sure I could have easily got it to stall previously, but it's not something I do in the normal course of riding, so it's a bit silly, but you can't It's just not, it's fine, it's absolutely fine. And that may have made it stall before, so it's definitely changed, but again, I'm not really sure how relevant that is to normal riding. But anyway, it's better, definitely better. For the next bend. Off the bottom, the throttles, it's definitely chucking in more fuel. I think, and this was, I think what Nathan said, is it's definitely made it richer, which is no bad thing for a Euro 5 Plus bike. Yeah, see, there's more power there, definitely. I'd love to see, and I'll never get to see, a dyno between the old map and the new map, just to see what the difference is. It's worth saying I am in off-road mode, which is the reason I have it there, is its max power, which is something Fagan from 44 Teeth got slightly wrong. I think he said the road mode had the most power. It's evident he said the road mode was more powerful, but it isn't. It's the off-road mode that has more power. Hence mine stays in off-road mode all the time. But what I tend to do is put the ABS on and the traction control on. Oh, traction control is another point actually. That's something else I want to test. I'm not sure. It keeps switching itself off when I have it on, and I'm not sure why. Okay, so we're just going to head towards Staben and see what life's like. But on the road, I think it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. It definitely feels a little bit more punchy. It's like it's had as I say, definitely like it's chucking a bit more fuel in. Just going to put my heated gloves on, which are lovely to have. Keys heated gloves, they were actually I bought these just before I bought the bike. I sold my Tiger in February, bought these probably in about, I don't know, December. I was busy doing some of the Rally Moto ice break events, which is a set of road book events you should do in your own time. And my hands were really suffering, even though I had heated grips, because of course the heated grips were warm the Sentry hand but not the outside. And when it was down to sort of freezing, my hands were really, really suffering. I don't think I suffered from Raynaud's or anything like that, but it was just, I was just finding it hard to function, especially in the mornings where there's like an hour and a half slog to get there, up to Buxton route. Right, third gear, lugging, which I wouldn't normally do, 20, and it picks up brilliantly there. So this is really impressive. I do love the Bluetooth integration on this. I've got my tunes playing. I love the quick buttons as well, so I can just flick to there, mess around with the tracks if I need, or even play the radio through it. Okay, so we're down here on the left. Yeah, that definitely feels a bit more urgent, I think, certainly at the bottom. Certainly left somewhere. Right, one wet lane. Let's see how we do. Ooh. Let's slow down a bit. Get my visor open. What crap around there? Certainly slippy. A few tracks down here. Not the first person down here recently. The bike seems alright. It definitely feels less boggy at lower revs. So I'm in, what, second gear, 15 mile an hour. And that seems absolutely fine. just let it come down a bit slower. The second, so still 10, 12. A bit slower than that. I'll stall it. Ooh, a bit slippy on that bit. Stalled it, but that was entirely my fault. I was in third gear doing walking pace. That was interesting. Just setting off there, just low revs, lugging it a little bit. No chance of it stalling there at all. Yeah, so just at low speed throttle around places like that, feels really good. I'm just going to turn my gloves off, I think. A lovely little sort of incline this, not particularly technical. It probably will be a bit slippy. Okay, so let's see what the new map's like on here. Oh, so good so far. Yeah, definitely feels more at the bottom. Use your body weight. Come on, get over there. That's better. Eyes are watering. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. Come on, get up there. That's where you want to be. So it just climbs a little. Again, on the GoPro, as usual, you can't really see the incline. Oh, gentlemen. Thank you. There we go, now we come out at the top, and it's just a little bit rutty for a bit. Oops. Where are you going? Well, that wasn't planned. Never mind, it'll do. Let's get down there. You know you'll end up in the lowest rut anyway, so might as well start there. I'd really rather be in that rut on the left actually, but hey, you make your choices. Bike's really going to need a clean after this, isn't it? So, the map, get it done, talk to your dealers. It's absolutely great. It's made a lot of difference. I think there's a slight compromise that I'll mention in a moment, but I think it's worth it. It definitely feels stronger at the bottom end. Before it felt like it was sipping fuel and struggling to keep going. Excuse me while I fuck around with my heated gloves, which are starting to feel a bit like overdressing for this as I'm warming up nicely now. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It wasn't a deal breaker for me anyway, but I think I'm going to take
ever. The back just spun out there. Yeah, the back's spinning up. Again, technical loss. The piece is actually always working through it, so that's actually I'm not saying it wouldn't have done that before in higher revs, but the fact that it's at lower revs, it just got so much more in. Even in my nose. Alright, let's stay here. I really wanted to do that middle one. That's a terrible target fixation. That was fun. So much fun. Let's do it again. Okay, so ride over. Really great. Couple of lanes, no issues whatsoever. Map's great. Definitely helped at the bottom end. The throttle is much less fluffy at the bottom end, so I'm really pleased with that. Worth mentioning, the Rally Raid rack I've just put on here, it's a kind of a slimline fitting rack that just hovers above the plastics, and I've got a knobbling mount there for me Moto luggage rather than having the straps that came down here, so that fits really well. I did have to cut the bolt down a little bit just so that it didn't hit the plastic behind it, but that all seems fine, and that's a really nice, neat install for that, so I'm super pleased with that. You'll see I've also got the sat-nav carrier on here, and that's okay. It certainly does the job. It has left a bit of a gap behind it. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, you can sort of see, I don't know if you can see with the camera there, but you can just see in there, you see some cables. Yeah, it's great. Looking forward to some more journeys out. I'm off for a few days this week, so I shall probably go NEC tomorrow, and then I'll see what ride-outs are happening later in the week, and we'll definitely get out to the peaks and have some more fun. But the bike, loving it, nothing negative to report. Thank you to Nathan for pointing out this throttle map update. Nathan Millward, Dorothy's Speed Shop, have a look at his website. I might try and go on some tours with him next year, as he does quite a lot of tours. And also thank you to Judd Racing for fitting me in, doing the map update, answering my query about the front dust cover. It was a dust cover just at the front that was slightly cockeyed, that they sorted. And here's to them another few thousand miles without issue. Cheers.